Amazon has unveiled Nova, which is a new family of AI models that basically expand their generative AI capabilities. So, this was announced at the reInvent conference that happened just recently. And the Nova suite includes four text generating models, as well as an image generator called Canvas and a video generator called Reel. The four main Nova models, Micro, Light, Pro, and Premier, offer varying levels of capability and performance. The smallest, Micro, focuses on fast text processing, while the larger models can handle multiple types of inputs, including text, images, and videos. Now, these models appear to feature impressive context windows. Micro can handle up to 100,000 words, and the larger models process up to 225,000 words or 30 minutes of footage. Now, Amazon plans to expand this to over 2 million tokens for some of these models in early 2025. On the media generation front, Nova Canvas creates and edits images with control over color schemes and layouts. Nova Reel can generate videos up to 6 seconds long. They promise these will be 2 minutes soon enough. And they also have plans for two more models, a speech-to-speech model in Q1 2025 and what they call, quote, any-to-any model in mid-2025. Basically, it'll handle multiple types of input and output. Now, CEO Andy Jassy claims these models are among the fastest and most cost-effective in their class. So, Paul, this is kind of interesting pairing with Bezos's interview saying, hey, I'm back in Amazon. And by the way, now we've got our own models. We talked last week about how Amazon is both investing billions more in Anthropic and trying to reduce its reliance on the company by building its own AI in-house. Now, this certainly seems like a big win for them building their own AI in-house, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is kind of like confusing as this whole space is confusing right now. Everybody's building their own models and doing deals with other people who are building models. And yeah, the whole thing is just very complicated. I think in Amazon's case, maybe more than any other company, I mean, Google, I could think of as in a similar boat. I would imagine they're building a lot of these models because they see the opportunity to transform Amazon internally. Like it's the same when they
Yeah.
built AWS. It was just like they had an internal reason to enable this. And so I think they probably look across their business and say, well, do we want to use Anthropic's models to optimize our own operations, marketing, sales, service, ops, finance, HR? Or do we want to like devise our own for all of the different things we do, from warehousing, logistics to running the daily business? So I don't know. That's my guess is they're largely focusing on internal applications, and then they're as a byproduct they're able to also build and open these models up and maybe drive uses of AWS and I don't know, put it into all their different devices they're building. And it's just one of those, like, it was funny because Andrew did ask Bezos about this,
Yeah.
and he said something about, and Jeff was like, "Well, you've been busy, Andrew. We did announce our own models
Yeah.
yesterday." And
Yeah.
Andrew goes, "Oh, the Nova thing?" And it was almost like he just blew it off as like not a big deal. And you
Yeah.
could tell Bezos was a little bit taken aback, like, "Well, we don't get any credit for launching our own family of models." He's like, "They're frontier models, Andrew. Like these are important models."
Yeah.
I don't think Andrew bought it. Um, so it will be fascinating to just see again, like, we've now got, I don't know, I'm off the top of my head here. So you have AWS has their own frontier models,
Mhm.
certainly Anthropic, Google, OpenAI, xAI. Um, Microsoft is building their own. So we have, what, six main players now? Was it five or six? And
Yeah.
then you have, Meta. You can't ignore Meta. You got Mistral is sort of playing around. Cohere, they're doing sort of like the lower level models. So, I mean, it's getting to be NVIDIA has their own models now. So, I
Yep.
mean, you have like seven or so like major 20 of the biggest companies in the world, kind of major top 20 building frontier models who have tens of billions of dollars of R&D money every year to build these massive frontier models. And you can officially put Amazon in that category now.
Yep. I thought just as a final note here, it was pretty interesting. TechCrunch reported there was a comment from the CEO, Andy Jassy, saying, quote, we've optimized these models to work with proprietary systems and APIs so they can do multiple orchestrated automatic steps,
Mm.
agent behavior, much more easily with these models. So Sounds like, as we've seen with everyone else do, not only are they building their own models, but they've got their eye on some type of agentic behavior.
Yeah, I mean, the tech companies are gonna push the frontiers here. They all know full well what these things are capable of doing, and they're gonna try and bring those different levels to life, from the reasoners to the agents to the innovators to the organizations. And I think that's gonna be where we're gonna see the early signs of where corporate America and, corporations around the world are going to go, is look at what becomes possible. And I keep trying to pay attention to, are they still hiring? Like, are these companies still
Mm,
hiring marketing people and salespeople and HR people? Because I feel like the way we're going to know when we're starting to look at the impact of the economy is when the hiring practices of the frontier model companies change,
yeah.
because the tech they've built has enabled them to change their way they hire and promote and retain workers. And if we start seeing a consistent decline from the frontier model companies, that's an indicator that we are now heading toward the job disruption that I expect will start to come next year.